What's up, guys? Tech Tom here. So today in this video, we are going to be playing some Kingdom Hearts, one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 2. We're going to be emulating on the RedMagic 8 Pro Plus. If you want to support the channel, hit that subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,393 subscribers. Kind of a weird number, but that's the number I had prior to recently pushing my channel over the past few months. Reason being is that Google is going to be deleting a ton of accounts. I don't know how many dead subscribers I have, but that means they're just dead accounts. People use them. And there have to be a few, and I'm not trying to lose monetization. So if you see this and you want to support your boy, let's get to that 1,393 goal before September. We can do it. You know what I'm saying? We can gain as many as that amount probably pretty easily, considering we're already at 1,024. But yeah, let's keep pushing to 1,393 subscribers. That is the immediate goal, and then we're gonna push towards that 5K. So yeah, let's get it going, boys. But yeah, enjoy the video. Thanks so much. What's up, guys? How's it going? So today I'm gonna be playing some Kingdom Hearts. It starts off as Final Mix, but unfortunately, I downloaded a version that's like seems to be modded because I did beginner, and it was feeling like it felt at least like the I guess the hard difficulty, like the whale. You know, we don't get Little Mermaid, we don't get, which is fun in the first one. Actually, it's all right, but you get to at least explore it more than in the second one, because the second one is literally you just doing this weird like rhythm game song, and it's really annoying. But the first one you don't have to deal with that like in this one, so that's nice. But yeah, so and then there's like Halloween Town, which is kick-ass. There's Agrabah, which is Aladdin. There's Peter Pan, arguably the best one because you get to fly, and then you after that you get Super Glide, which means you can literally jump. You get to jump super high from Monstro, which is like the Pinocchio world, but you jump super high, then you can glide, and bro, you get to fly everywhere, bro. That like fly, you can jump from places and glide. But seeing that, dude, having that ability, like this game does a good job of like progressing you, and I just felt cool that like throughout the game, because as kids you didn't have like, of course there's YouTube eventually and you had guides, but I didn't go and buy guides, like, so, and especially since my dad was the one buying us games, like I tried to adjust the light. It didn't really work too well, but let me see if this is a recording. If I woo, hello. Thank the hell. As you guys can see, very clean setup we got going on right now. Way better than it was before, but yeah, still very clean. But yeah, this is where I was talking about where there was like little TV and I couldn't beat the bosses. I'm either confusing this with I don't know, this was freaky as hell as a kid, bro. I was like, dude. And this is a little bit of foreshadowing, because at the end of the game you come back here and you fight Ansem. And it's not Ansem, it's like his clone. It's not really like Ansem's like the evil guy or whatever, right? So I guess it's apparently is nobody that you fought, and the real guy is Xehanort. The lore is fucking freaking confusing, like for real. It's and it might not be that hard for most people. If you know the lore, explain it to me, because I'm very lost in it. But because I just get distracted with Disney World, so I'm like, ooh, fun. Oh, we get to go in Pooh Bear too. It's like that map is adorable, bro. That shit's so adorable. You get to like go in like, the little 100-acre wood and stuff. I remember when I was a kid, man, my Nana and Papa were great. They're obviously still around, but they're great, man. Like when we were kids, bro, they used to tell us that the woods leading to so they had a like house in Michigan in Charlevoix. And that house, it was like a beach. It was on the lake. I was on like Lake Charlevoix, which is like a little subset of Lake Michigan, and it's like a little inland thing. But yeah, I was on Lake Charlevoix, and they had these little condos. And so they, on the way though, because we drive there, they would tell us that like the forest right by it is the 100-acre woods, and Pooh Bear's in there, and we were just like, wow, really? That was like looking back, that was adorable, man. They always used to take us on these things called I have really great grandparents, too, good times. But yeah, no, they used to take us on these things called like they're called like mystery adventures. Basically they'd take us to 3 different places and they wouldn't tell us where we go. It'd be somewhere different every time. Sometimes it was out to eat, sometimes it was a dollar store where we could like pick out a toy. Other times it was a park. Like, it was just fun because you never knew where you were gonna go, but they'd always take us to 3 different places. It was really cute. We'd always sing like little like songs on the way too. Good times, man. See, this game unlocks like these memories, bro. These buried memories, like that. It's interesting. I guess like as an adult, like I just like take a lot for granted, and I have just like such a different view of life that I didn't have prior, of course, but it's just definitely very interesting to say the least. So I don't know if you guys played Toontown, but I got really into that game too. I very clearly like Disney. And my friend Will, he is very obsessed with Disney too, to the point where he like wants to work for them in corporate kind of thing. I don't know. It's very he does all that. It's great, but it's surprising he never played Kingdom Hearts too. But how you not gonna know about? How you gonna be obsessed with Disney and not know about Kingdom Hearts, bro? What? You know what I'm saying? Like that to me was That to me was shocking. I was like, bro, you haven't heard of this game? What are you doing, bro? Are you really a Disney fan? But man, I played Toontown for way too long. That was another one of those comfort games. I like just didn't really like. I don't know. I didn't really fit into a lot of groups. Clearly, my interest is Toontown. But yeah, I didn't really. A lot of it was like I experienced like some social rejection as a kid. Like not all the time. I obviously had friends and stuff, and like obviously a bunch of good ass times. But what I'm saying is like there were times where you just kind of get tired of like being fucked with or picked on. And I think the thing is like people are trying to like be friends. I think just the way they know how to be friends is different than what I was raised. Like how I was raised to be friends with people. Like so for instance, like my wife was raised in an environment where they would roast each other, and you only would do that if you were friends with somebody. Like you would only kind of just say stuff because it's supposed to be like, it's just funny, you know what I mean? Like you're just like pointing things out, and you could be seen as cruel, obviously. And thinking about that as a kid, like of course I probably saw it as like it's cruel. But yeah, no, I didn't really realize people were doing that because I was raised in a way that if we were mean to each other, we get in trouble. Like we'd either get soap in our mouth, and it wasn't like a whole fucking bar forever. I don't know if it sounds weird these days. Like, clearly there's the parenting strategies. They weren't. I don't know. It sounds weird today if you didn't get punished in that way, but it was common for you to get like soap in your mouth because it's gross, right? And you obviously didn't want to swallow it anyway. So, or you get hot sauce, like Tabasco sauce, and so. For swearing, bro, we get so much trouble. They douse our mouths with fucking like one drop of hot sauce, but it sucked, bro. Thinking back, it sucked. But so if you were mean, if you cussed, anything like that, that's probably why I cuss so much, because I'm sick, dude. Just really sick, dude. But think about it, that's probably why, like. But that was how we were raised. Like you followed the rules. It was like Christian, not to the point where we were forced to go to church or anything, but to the point where like it was just you're supposed to be like, it was like practicing just good manners with each other, or just being kind. Like the highest priority in our house was being nice. Like, and if you weren't nice, you got in trouble. So going into that and thinking other people are like that, and then hearing that, I was like, damn, these people are mean. And so I think these people probably felt put by that because they weren't
like used to somebody getting upset over something when they're just probably trying to relate to you just by like roasting you, like. And so I think, to be honest, sometimes like kids get in trouble for being mean, but it's like the thing is, I don't think that they're like mean. I just think they don't really feel a ton. Like, thinking about it, like, I'm trying to dig into the past here, so I appreciate if you're sticking around with this, but like, I think what it is they're just, that's how they know how to connect with people and relate with people. That's what their friends do. So when they probably are just like, well, I'm not gonna like change myself for this person. Or like, just as a kid, you're like, well, that's kind of weird. It took it really hard, or started crying, or I was super sensitive. Like, I don't know what it was, but sometimes I think like, I don't even know what it was, but there's this dude that at my old school I like just said, "What's up?" The dude didn't even fucking reply. I was like, all right, guess I'm as much of a loser as he thought I was back in fucking like 15 years ago. But I just commented, I don't know. I was felt pretty insecure about that, bro. I was like, the fuck? Okay, I guess my reputation from 15 years ago still is clearly projected into me as a fucking adult, but it's fine, dude, whatever. There's something about that dude going to your past and trying to like make friends with people who just weren't friends with you, and then you get the same kind of fucking rejection. It's like, dude, that fucking sucks, bro. That's the kind of, and it's interesting as an adult, because it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, of course there's a little bit of caring, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not really focused on that. Like, I'm focused on making these videos, right? So I'm clearly just trying to make the videos, and but yeah, no, it's interesting, because that stuff as a kid is what you that's what you avoid. Like, it hurts as a kid really bad, right? Getting socially kind of rejected and stuff, and then you avoid it in middle school. So you just put on like a new identity, and man, that was fucking brutal, bro. We got my friend group, we got shit on hard, bro. It's fantastic. But middle school is fucking brutal, dude. That's just shit ass time, bro. Like, this fucking bullshit. Anyway, so upset right now. It's just the worst, dude. You guys are getting the range of emotions from nostalgia to trauma. Dude, spilling the beans, man. Sorry if I'm dumping. But that's literally one thing about. We got straight up fucking 2 hours of this shit, man. So buckle in, my guy. Buckle in. But yeah, I really like. So for Travis Town, bro, I really love like the music. I like. It's so soothing, bro. I like. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can hear it. It's really, really great. And like when I was younger, I didn't really know how to progress the level, because you're supposed to just go through doors to get, them looking for you. Then you go back to the home world. Then you talk to, you talk to Leon, or not Leon. You talk to whatever his name is, blonde-haired dude. Talk to him, and then, or Sid, and then you go and you talk to Leon. You fight Leon. Then you go back to, they take you back to the house thing, and then from there, you are like, there's like a heartless thing that busts in. You meet, or you don't know. So they're in the other room right next to you, which is funny, because like they set it up to where, as you guys saw, like how, or I don't know. So I don't know if I've reached that point yet, but yeah, as you can see, I went through the doors and they're looking for you, and eventually you find each other and you fight the boss, and that's the first part, and then you go from there. I think, though, I don't know if I die like pretty soon here. Real, like, this smooth of performance, like, just on a phone. Like, look at this, bro. It's like literally like I'm looking at a better version of the TV. Like, I also like it because I did like the square resolution, so it makes it feel more legit as to like what it was before. But yeah, so this is where I start dying. I get definitely bodied here really fast. Like, just you see real quick. So this is where I was like, what? Yeah, like, you see my hand. I beat this, but I basically had But yeah, I basically had to exit out, and then in a little bit, like right after this, you'll see what happens. But off camera, I had to exit out. I had to put the game into, like, you can unlimit the frame rate, so it just goes super fast, fast as fuck, boy. You can you can unlimit the frame rate. Like I said, so it goes super fast, and you're gonna see just how fast it goes. But I had to do that to get right back to this point. Played Wizard 101. Man, I got out of that. I played that in middle school. Oh, bro, it was not good. No, it was not good, bro. But that game was the shit, bro. That was a fun ass game. See, I always love like games where you like earn. I don't know. You just like earn. It's like turn-based combat, but you have powers that you earn over time. To me, that's just like a really fun concept. As I like really, yeah, look at how fast that is. So the hardest thing about that speed is doing tasks and not running over, like, because you have to do it very lightly. And I turned it back. I didn't realize that I had to. You'll see me turn the camera around in a second, but yeah, I didn't realize I had to go from behind or whatever. So she said, sorry, yo. Gross. I'm getting tired, bro. Getting tired for sure, boys. Getting tired for sure. Doesn't sound like it, but I am. So I can't find my S23 box. So if you're wondering why I have less boxes there, but I'm gonna be proud to put that Bumblebee box there, bro. We got the stack set. That was also. If you don't know what the HTC One is, I have a little review on it, but that was. So that was a game changer for Android. Before then, all the materials in Android phones, at least on the back, were either metals with plastic, but there was never, and that's what people like got on Android phones about. They're like, well, they're cheap, they're plasticky, it's like, it's laggy, yada yada yada. And the whole thing, like, and they definitely had like way more power, like just, very far, like even dude back then, bro, like just. It literally crushed the iPhone back then. It's just, I love it, bro. Android's been dunking on their bitch asses for years. Get mother trucked ish. I'm trying to swear less. Because for monetization, they don't want swearing. Also, I'm definitely trying to do that less. But yeah, even back then, man, it's bad. But like, so Android was always dogged on. This was, I don't know how recently whoever's watching this got into phones, but if you're my age, I'm 28. When we were in like teenagers, pretty much, like that was in school. That was what, like, I went to school from 2010 to later in 2014, but I was supposed to finish in 2014. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's super embarrassing, but it's just true. Yo, dude, yeah, no, I always made fun of the people who were like super old, and it was you boy. So you can tell I'm very confident in that, feeling really good about it. Voice crack. Here I'm entering patches or something. I'm just messing around here. I don't really remember exactly what I was doing. Yeah, okay, so the health was down, but. Yeah, this is where I turn on this super fast combat again. I think. Did I pass all that? Or maybe. Oh, no, we actually do the battling now, but. Man, yeah, that went out. What was I saying? I was talking about, like, something. Okay, nice. Yeah, all you have to do is lock on and spam X, and it's even faster. Goofy and Donald would take care of it too, man. Like, yeah, I don't know if you guys were looking for slow combat. I feel like there's no videos just showing like the super sped up version. It's funny too because it looks like I'm speeding up the video, but I'm not. Like, I'm not speeding up the video. Like the game itself is sped up, which is you guys saw earlier. But I just still think it's like, I just think it's funny. To be honest, I think it's pretty funny. Ha ha ha. Hilarious. Check on that time, bro. Yeah, we're getting closer. Hour 17. Oh, we still got a good chunk of time to go. If you're still here, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, watching the whole video. I don't know if you guys stuck around. I like super long videos like this, but I mean, hopefully it's been entertaining enough for you to stick around, but I don't know. I am glad I'm showing my face more with these videos. Recently my wife's like, yeah, I'd watch it if your face was there, because it's like you want to see the person that's like playing the game. You just want to see the game. It's more engaging if the person's face is there, which is why I've been putting it in the bottom corner. And yeah, I just like all the streamers that I remember are the ones that had their face in it. And so I'm trying to be not a streamer, but people who play games and did stuff like that, or the people who have their face in it, like Lou, that giant tech guy, like, you know, the iPhone help, you know, Ty Moss or whatever his name is now, or Ty's iPhone help was his old channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember these, or like, you know, PewDiePie even, bro. I love that guy. A lot of people don't like his humor. I think he's funny as shit. Like, crap. Come on, gotta change it up. I think he's funny as crap, for sure. And that is all I have to say. But yeah, no, I've been trying to do this more for you guys, because I don't know, it feels more engaging. Plus, I like it. I like watching my own content back. Like, as conceited as that sounds, I like to see like what I posted, because really, so how I do these videos, guys, is I record my gameplay just with like, I got the little tripod that sits on the table, and then, you know, S23. So I do that, and then I take the file, drag it to my Mac, and then I have it on my Mac, and I watch it on my Mac. Ironically, I do have an Apple device, MacBook Pro. I like these computers for media production. My favorite. Finger gun, probably got stuff doing that too. Let's see. Yeah, here we're fighting Cerberus. That's sick. But yeah, so do that, then I watch it back, and I essentially, so I open up Logic Pro, which is like the music recording app, and I just record my voice as I'm doing it. So fortunately, I can hit start because I have this thing. I can hit this, and I can hit the voice recording at the same time. So I'm recording myself, doing the audio recording, and then I stick it in the middle. So when I do these things, I export the audio, and then after that, I film, because there's only one thing left, I film the intro and the outro like consecutively, and then I drag over all the files, and then I take, yeah, we beat Cerberus, was popping. Sorry about the thumps, but hopefully the Adobe software takes that out. Hopefully it doesn't take my voice out with it. And if you don't hear any thumps, it's because the software worked, but I'm bumping the mic. It's pretty low, so I don't know if you can see right now. But yeah, either way, so yeah, so all the files are on my computer, and then I take it and I put it in the Adobe software. All you really do, it's Adobe Podcast, but it's Adobe Audio Enhancer. It's a part of it. So you just literally take your audio file, put it in there, and it'll get rid of all the silence parts and make it silent. So there's no like background noise, and it'll like sharpen your voice. It's the best audio software I've ever seen. Like, it has completely changed up my videos and made them so much better. And I am so glad I don't have to be the one to go through and just compress my audio file and figure out how to do all that and make it sound better and yada yada yada, you know what I'm saying, like going over everything. It saves so much time. So like, I'm not even joking, there's no plug here because I'm clearly a small YouTuber. Nobody's paying me to say that. I'm saying because it genuinely is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Ever. Not even my wedding. Better than that. Joking. but like, for real, I mean, like, for my videos, like, really, it's game changing. Hopefully you guys are appreciating the change too. Yeah, here's where we actually turn on the hyperdrive thing, where it's just super fast. And it just, like, your watch ready. I think, yeah, look at that. It's just insane speed, man. Just if anybody tested positive for COVID, have you been in another country? Like, have you traveled? And then, have you been around anybody that's traveled outside the country? So those three things. It was other thing. It was like, have you felt like sick? Like, whereas have you had headaches, fever, nauseousness, you know, cold, things like that. Like, I don't remember the exact stipulation of like what exactly the detailed things, but I had to do that. I'd ask those questions, and then you'd scan their forehead for a temperature. If they popped over 100, the 102 was the 101 or 102, or I don't remember the exact amount, but you'd ask this question, scan their forehead, and then they come to the hospital. If they popped You'd send them over to the ED, and you get an ED shift. So what happens was the majority of people were either walking in that were staff in the morning, or you get the positive cases. So I was in like front lines, and you know what I'm saying, but like I was getting exposed to COVID like once a week pretty hard. Like, and whether, you know, you think, some people think it's not real. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, it is real. It definitely made me have sleep apnea. That is for sure. I never had sleep apnea, and I have it now. And yeah, no. So I have that from this watches, and then yeah, and then I have like the whole. We'll go into the whole backstory of all the Metatron, because I already shared some stuff with y'all. But I mean, that's kind of what comes to mind when I'm just by myself. Kind of just what floats in my head. So apologies if it's not positive, but I mean, there's a real person on the other side of the videos. I'm not just like some drone that just sits here and I play games all day and I think of nothing. Like, but yeah, appreciate you guys listening. This is like, feels like a, like when I was younger, going on dates, I never knew what to say. So I would always just be quiet. So it's like, well, and I was expected to have all the fucking questions, but then when I could finally think of something to say, it came off like I was quizzing them, and I just was like, it's like playing 100 questions. Like, what am I supposed to do? And then it says, I randomly thought of that, but this reminds me of like me trying to think of topics or things to say. Because when I was younger, I couldn't think of, so I had shit to say, but it was like this. I was playing this, or like I was playing other games, or like, and for the most part, the women that I would talk to, I don't think they would, like, from what it seemed, the people who didn't play games were the ones who pulled, I don't know, obviously, since not the case. That was what my perception was, because everybody, it was, you know what's weird is like, that's a lot of things that are weird. But yeah, dude, that was a journey to my wife. So yeah, if you guys are need any advice on that, if you guys want advice, I don't know, I just want to make this channel one, it's just tech, but I obviously am not thinking of tech all the time. But yeah, so I guess we can get back to talking about tech though. So I am looking forward to that 33% boost of power from this phone that you see in front of you to the next one. Like, you know, it's a 3.36 gigahertz instead of 3.32. So, you know, 400 megahertz. And back in the day, 400 megahertz was a lot. And now it doesn't seem like it, but it is better. You know, you will see at least a speed difference. And then the GPU goes from 680 to 735 or something like that. Or 780 to, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's like a noticeable jump in processing power. And so it was funny too. I was super all about RAM, but now I think like there comes a point where, like, you know, focusing on things like if it's a newer version of RAM is probably more important than the amount of RAM. The amount of RAM matters, but you know, having like a new processor or having like a overclocked version of a processor, or, you know what I'm saying, like that to me is important for at least somewhat, you know what I mean? So like that's like something that I seek out. Like, so when you think of a phone, if you are watching this because you just like Kingdom Hearts or you just stumbled upon my channel, like what you want to think of when you're buying a phone first is the processor. Next, like, you know, what is it? How many cores? What's the speed? Is it a newer processor? How does it handle heat? Like things along these lines. You want to kind of filter out if the processor is a good processor. You get, you know, the general opinion. You also do like a little bit of like looking into it yourself. I don't know all the details about how. So people were saying that like apparently like a 6-core one can outpace an 8-core processor. I just think it's because like it is. They're saying that bigger little cores, like if like the core takes up more space, you know, it can obviously probably handle more than just one task. Even if it's like if it's you could assign a bigger one core to two things, right, or whatever it is, versus like 8 cores to one individual thing. I think honestly, processor quality really determines which one is going to be better. So if you have a really, like, let's say like the 6 is better, but the same manufacturer makes an 8-core processor, as efficient as the 6-core one, then, you know what I mean, you get better results, I'd assume. Or like, and the reason that I think this way, I didn't really, so I never like had PCs or knew about specs and stuff. So I know how phones progressed. Like I can remember phone like specs and where they were. Like it went from literally 500 megabytes of RAM or like 200 megabytes of RAM with a 800 megahertz processor being the best to like, you know, a gigahertz or like a gigahertz or like a dual core processor and dual core. Like my brother used to make fun of me, but like, you know, so even just 800 megahertz was like a lot, and then it was like a gigahertz. So it's like, whoa, you have 1,000 megahertz, and that's like a fast processor with like, you know, it was like only 800 megabytes of RAM, and then you had your first gig of RAM, and that was cool. And then it went from, you know, a dual core processor to a quad core processor with 2 gigs of RAM. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is kind of how it progressed from quad core to hexacore, which is what you see in the iPhone now. But obviously, like, I'm assuming it's much better because it's a current tech, and they've had years to refine things and tweak things and all yada yada, all the things. But then it went to an octa-core processor, so 8 cores. Like, so, and the RAM went from 4 to, goodness, excuse me, guys, 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 to 16 to 24 now. That is, I think 20 gigs of RAM was one thing at 1.2, or 18. It was like 18, 16, 18, and then 24. So now that's how the RAM went. And then pretty much there was a deca-core processor, but yeah, no. So, and the speed itself within the processors went from like a gigahertz to 1.2 to 1.5, and by 1.5 we had a quad core. So like that was the Nexus 4. I have a review on that if you want to check that out. I just kind of show classic Android. I think Ice Cream Sandwich is on there still, that or Lollipop. This is the 4th version of Android or the 5th version of Android, with the 5th variant that came out with like a dessert name. It's crazy we're on U right now. Like, yeah, it's kind of nuts. Oh, Android 3 was Honeycomb. I'm trying to think of the names. There's Gingerbread. And then before that, what was F? Funnel cake? Fudge? No. What was it? Some dessert. What was it, bro? What am I? But that was cool when they led with those names. I just thought that was really cool. I think, like, instead of saying Android 14, they should say Android Upside Down Cake. Like, that, to me, was, like, what made Androids seem pretty cool, too, is that they just named the desserts. They did, you know, that was the name. Like, you know, Ice Cream Sandwich is coming out, or, you know what I'm saying? Before that, though, it was Eclair, and then it was Donut, and then it was Cupcake. So 1.5 was the first public build with a touchscreen, then 1.6. It's funny, I just know all these like statistics, and I just like that's why I know. That's why you can trust me when I say I know a lot about phones, because I literally can remember. I can remember like all the details of how these phones progressed. Like, not even joking. Like 1.5, 1.6, then it was 2, and then 2.1, and then 2.2, 2.3, and then 2.3 was Gingerbread. But it was like they did point updates. They weren't just like tiny little Apple updates. They were big updates. They were like OS updates, like big ones. I'm talking like from iOS 13 to 14, or like 13 to 15, to be honest, based on like the amount of features they added back then for what iOS just added. Kind of funny. But yeah, so it was like the Honeycomb, and that was a tablet OS only, which is funny because that was the first time they had like a tablet. So Android 3, and then, you know, Android 4, was like a really awesome, bro. I loved because that was the first time we had like live wallpapers with the folders with like the little like hole cut out. You can get like the theme, you know. Then it was 4.1 was ICS. Still, 4.2 might have been Lollipop. I don't know if it went from that to 5 though. I think Android 5 was Lollipop. Yes, Android 6 was... What was it, man? Man, I'm gonna look it up. I'm sorry. I'm so like... I like want to know what the dessert was, man. Come on. Oh, was it Froyo? I think it was Froyo. I didn't look yet. It was cool. Yeah, it was Android Froyo. Dude, that was sick, man. Oh, it was 2.2.3. It was in 2011. It's pretty nuts, man. Yeah, dude. Just here, look. So, dude, look at that, man. This was on the Nexus S and the Nexus 3G. There's the Nexus. Oh, it's called the Nexus 1, but there was the Nexus 1, Nexus S. Nexus phones were pixels before they were changed to pixels. Like they got to the Nexus 6 and then the 6P was 6 Pro, right? So, but they had a tablet called the Nexus 7, so they weren't gonna just do a Nexus 7 and confuse people, so they changed it to Pixel. So thus the Pixel line was born. But before that, it was the Nexus phones, and so you had like just let me just show you this. It's kind of funny, but like look, so this is just what that looked like, which is kind of funny. But even just like the live wallpaper, bro, that thing was looking fresh, dude. You know, look at, oh my god, look, widgets. Can you imagine back in 2011? It's not like, oh, let's just see Cupcake. Android 1.5. It is. Dude, okay, this is awesome, bro. Okay, so let me show you. Let me show y'all. I know y'all are looking at the screen, but I just really want to show you the very first. So this is, I had the HTC HD2, and this is the home screen looked like. See, look at, it's literally Edge. That was the commonplace. It wasn't even 3G yet, but yeah, you literally had like, but look at that, bro. Widgets. This is the first version of Android with motherfucking widgets, bro. You had folders. You had a pull down bar and a pull up bar. Like people are saying, like people will still sit here and say that Android copied Apple, bro. Apple just added the pull up notifications. You don't even pull up. You go to the right like an idiot. Like they just fucking added that, bro. Oh yeah, I'm also finishing the level. So, or no, not even. Yeah, I finished that. Now I'm here. This is a pretty fun part. I love puzzles too. I love like fantasy kind of puzzle games. I think they're a good time. And not shit now where it's just like, buy these gems to play our Bejeweled game. Like, spend all real money on in-game currency. Clearly, I fall for that with RuneScape all the time. Why sit there and make the money when I could just buy it? They capitalize on my laziness. It's tragic. But yeah, no. Oh, yo, look at. So this is classic, boys. Look at this shit. Look at this, dude. I'm sure, like, dude, come on, bro, come on. Like, it had everything, dog. Look at that Android Market, bro. It wasn't the Play Store. Dude, I don't like how they changed it to the Play Store because they wanted Google to be the main brand. I think it was. I don't know. I don't like that. I wish they kind of kept Android as the prime. So like Android Market, that was cool, man. Yo, so around that time too, it was called Black Market, but you could get like, it was one of the there's so many cracked app stores right now, but one of them, Black Market, was sick, bro, because that was where you go and get like a ton of either hacked games, but mainly it was paid games for free, and that was fun too. So I was talking about this like a while ago, but with and I loved my iPod Touch back in the day. I had a 1G. I never did a review on it because, so I tossed it out because it was giving me a headache because the battery was swelling. Yo, I'm not even joking. There was a woman who had a balloon for a battery, bro. That is a fucking fire hazard. Like, it was a balloon, bro. I don't know how the hell she didn't do anything about it, or anybody didn't warn her. Like, what the fuck, dude? That was crazy. But there's a little protrusion on the screen, but it gave me a fucking headache, man. So I didn't do it for long, but when I did have that, you could jailbreak the first gen iPod Touch, and you could get it was called, so the first jailbreak was called installer, right? So there's installer, but the next one was Cydia. So you guys know Cydia now, but when Cydia was pretty sweet when it finally came out and stuff, but installer was very classic. Like, that was when you could get games on your iPod before you could get games on your iPod. Like, so when the jailbreak community started releasing games, I was like, shit, we're gonna put games on this. So then they just added the App Store in like 2008. So or 2009, I think it was 2008. But so for a while, there weren't like other apps you could download. Like, you just were stuck with whatever apps. But Android, always had an app store. So they had access to a market. So before, like, where you could like get apps. Actually, I don't know if they publicly released 2008 though. I think it was a little bit before Apple though. So actually, I'm talking shit, but I think it was right around the same time they both released their stores. So, but before, you couldn't.
Yep.
The only way you could get other apps is if you jailbroke the phone, and that was fucking sick because you could. I'm not even joking. You could put a wallpaper as your background. You couldn't do that, bro. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was just a black background. Like, that's literally all it was. Just straight up the black background. Like, okay, this is cool. Like, I can move my apps. Like, that was why I was so fucking lame, bro. The Android, I could change the background. I could have live wallpapers. I could have live wallpapers before. Literally, I had live wallpapers before Apple had wallpapers. It's just like, it's just kind of crazy, bro. Like, oh man, we got 8 minutes left. Good times, boys. Good times are had in this video. As you can see, I'm moving around. Basically, so in this level, I had to collect evidence. Okay, anyway, actually, sorry, but yeah, that's what we're doing. But let me get back to what I was saying. But it was so awesome because for a minute, so before subscriptions were a thing, it was light apps. So you had the main app, and then you had the light version. And the light version would give you like a preview of the application. So, and sometimes games were just free that were badass. So, but they were knockoffs. So like, instead of Doodle Jump, which cost $1, you had Happy Jump, which was free. And it was the same concept. You can still download it in the Play Store, actually, if you want to try out the game that I played when I was a kid. Another one, Coloroid. That was one. But yeah, no, you literally... So that was cool, but it was fun getting, like, they took Labyrinth from what they already had Labyrinth, like, as an app for the jailbreak, but then somebody took it and made it like another app itself. But there were like apps like that got pushed in the Play Store by other developers, which is kind of funny, or maybe the same one pushed it. I don't know, but they took advantage of like the proximity sensor on the phone, and I don't know if actually it had a proximity sensor. I don't know if you had to. I think it did. I'm talking about the iPod Touch first gen is what I'm thinking of. So if you know, let me know. But yeah, so another game they had was like iPhysics. If you look up iPhysics, it was fun, dude. You'd make like these shapes and you could throw them around. Like, stuff seems so basic right today, but dude, back then you didn't have games. So if you had games on your iPod, it was the dopest thing ever. It was so sick too, because back in the day, bro, they just had Jailbreak Me. Came out with it again, but I'm not even joking. It was literally as easy to hack the device as you taking your finger, like literally typing in a website, going to it and sliding to jailbreak it, and it would give you installer, and then you could install cracked apps. And like, that lasted a little bit until Apple said no because they didn't want you having access. What you gain with the jailbreak is root access. So in root access is what Android has, but you don't really, you have to root the phone to get deep core root access. But basically, and that's the thing about jailbreaks now. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm getting off topic. Let me see here. Sorry, there's a lot I want to explain, and then I just jump around. But yeah, basically, so you got games, right? Then the App Store came out, but then you got the cracked App Store, so you didn't spend any money. So when the App Store came out, I didn't have money to spend. So getting something like a freaking, like even just like a $15 or $20, which sounds like nothing now because $50 is what's probably going to get you what you want. But, you know, years ago, $20 would get you a lot. You know what I mean? Because everything was like $1 to $5 pretty much. $5 was like a lot to spend on an app. $3 was like the sweet spot for most apps. It's kind of what they were charging for you to get the app. But, you know, now they realize to get you to download the app, they don't have to entice you with a light app. They just give it to you, then you subscribe. It's just stupid. Like, there are apps that, like, it's a fucking, like, it's so dumb. They're like subscriptions. It's the dumbest things. I'm tired of that, bro. I don't know if you're tired of that shit, but I'm fucking tired of everything asking for a fucking subscription. No. Like, I'm not giving you my money. Like, I'm not for your shitty app I'm gonna use one time. Like, no thanks. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, don't fuck these subscriptions, bro. This is, like, absurd. It's like a, I don't know the right word for it, but it's a subscription epidemic, dog. It's an epidemic. Nah, but, like, for real. For real. Man, I just thought the fact that I have to break up this audio into 2 files and then do a, oh man. Cat by the door. Lauren, don't. No. I'm almost done. Literally, I'm almost done. I have 3 minutes. Just wait. 3 minutes. So let's see here. But yeah, so yeah, all the subscriptions suck for sure. But yeah, no, it was really cool. So getting install this. So I was like, what is this? So you literally, and this was the first video that made me blow up on YouTube. And obviously I have more subs now, but I'm getting way less views than I did because I was getting like my top video had 68,000 views. I deleted it because I was really embarrassed. Like, why would I be thinking of
Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, help me get to that 1393 goal, random number. But like I said earlier, we want to surpass that YouTube restriction or the YouTube account deletion thing coming in December. So yeah, after we hit that number, we're gonna keep pushing towards 5K. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a good one. See you in the next video.